I just wanted to be dramatic.
Don't we love drama? Wait, Logan, are you the drama?
I am the drama.
You're the drama. I knew it.
I am the drama. I am the drama. Well, welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the T in reality. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay. Here trying, I tried one of these, I think for the cast assessment. This is Press Hard Seltzer, not sponsored, but I'd love to be. Today we are trying the flavor pomegranate ginger. And I'd give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty good.
Cool. Well, I am Lana, your resident diva. You know, I love to give the tea, spill the tea, and give the tea. So if you have tea, send it my way because I love it. And I have my lovely cup here with my name on it. You know, just drinking water. It's just water today because it's just that day. Water. It's a good day. Yeah, and we have a guest, Logan. Wait, it's not just us. We have a guest, someone we both adore. So introduce yourself.
I am Stark, your resident guest from Germany. It's 5:30, and I'm drinking a creamsicle energy drink. We love the creamsicle.
I really thought you were going to say resident white man.
Oh,
I really did.
You know, I thought about it. I really did. I very much considered it.
I mean, to be fair, I think you are the resident white man.
That's fine.
I mean, Logan, you are a white man also, so...
Non-binary, so whatever.
A white person, I guess.
Sure, I am white. That is a true statement.
But he's also... Yeah, you're non-binary, he's the man, and I'm black. So we just have it all around. So, period.
And
a woman.
Speaking of women, oh boy, were women done dirty tonight. Big Brother 24, and the last couple of weeks, actually, in America. Big Brother 24.
This is very indicative of what's going on with women all over. But yeah, Big Brother 24 happened today. We have been, let me tell you, CBS has been very interesting this season. We didn't get a cast until yesterday. And out of all of that, we still managed to have drama on the day of the cast drop. We did our cast assessment yesterday. And right after we finished with everything, Marvin was gone.
The moment.
We didn't really even have time to digest what we had just talked about. Marvin was out. Joseph was in. And we hadn't even moved in yet. So, then...
I would say a change for the better.
We don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for the change, but like I was literally just having a conversation earlier this week that I think the Muslim population is like very low for Big Brother, and I was really wanting to see like another case or somebody who like actively practice their faith in the house, and so that could be like covered and like discussed as like a kind of, not necessarily like a plot point, but just something that could like be highlighted, right? And so I think like he is a welcome addition. He's the second person that I drafted, so we'll see how that goes. But
Lana also.
I also drafted him because he took Marvin's place, which was fine. Look, I said what I said on the cast assessment. Marvin was the first person of color. If I had to go, I would have been okay with going because...
And then he did.
And he did. And so I'm okay with Joseph coming in.
Look at you manifesting that, Lana.
We can now root for all of the people of color.
I surely can, because I feel like everybody of color I can dig. I'm liking, so I'm okay with it. And y'all know me, I don't mince my words. I root for everybody black. I say it every year, I say it on every show. And so I was like, I picked Marvin because he was black. That was the only reason. But then I was like, he can go though. But he can go. And he went. So great.
And to my knowledge, Joseph does not follow Candace Owens on Instagram. So that is better than where we're at.
To my knowledge. We figured that out. So I think it was fun. And so it was movie night. It was premiere night on Big Brother 24. And I took notes, people. So be prepared to be amazed by the knowledge of this pathetic premiere. It was the worst premiere I've ever seen in a long time.
I've never been so whelmed.
Underwhelmed.
I would argue to say that it was the least significant or eventful live move-in of any Big Brother.
Of the three that we've had now?
Yeah, which is sad.
Well, Canada does live move-ins, right?
Oh, I meant US.
Of the US, out of the three.
Nothing is ever truly live on Canada.
Okay.
They film those midday.
But see, okay, this is my thing. I miss the days of them coming in. We talked about this before we got on the air. I miss the days of them coming in with the bags, running to the bedrooms, placing their bags on the beds, claiming their spot, getting to know each other. We see people sneaking off, going into the storage room and making alliances on an hour run. And I get you want to do live movements, but come on, we don't have a live audience anymore, so we really don't need a live move-in anymore. We don't really need all of that if we're not going to have the true essence of Big Brother. So just don't fake break like it's live. Tape it like you used to. Give us the stuff, because going in the house and going straight to the competition, or in this case, finding the tickets and giving us 10 minutes of go find a ticket and then we'll scan the ticket to see where you go. That was the most underwhelming moments of television.
They should have just put all the tickets on the memory wall.
Right.
Just consolidate them there and then
just go right to the backyard.
Wouldn't that have been so cute? They go in the front door. If it's really this BB Fest theme, which I will say, now that we have the house, we have the theme. I'm liking the theme. I'm optimistic about the theme. We'll talk about the twist, which, contrary to what Hannah Chada said last season, I don't think this is a good twist. But I will say, I think it would have been so cute. They go in the door. Maybe you have a PA or something standing at the memory wall to check you into BB Fest. And then you go to the backyard. That would have been cute.
Give them a wristband. When you go to festivals, you get a wristband. So somebody's at the door, they're on a list, they get their wristband, then they go to the backyard, and all they have to do is scan the wristband to get to where they need to go. Now, look, it just seems, it was very underwhelming. It just seemed like it was just a waste of time. The intro package just seemed a little long I wasn't...
So the intro packages had to be long because that's the only introduction to these people that we got the entire episode.
Exactly.
I'm very happy we got to know things about Joseph. That was honestly the one person I was looking forward to, because I did watch Sharon Tharp. Shout out to you, queen, legend, icon. I did watch her interview with him. It is very, very robotic, but I did watch it. And he seems less dry now that he's in the house, I will say.
I think it was the fact that man thought he was going home.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he was done. And so when he gets a knock on the door, less than 24 hours before he's supposed to move in and say, hey, now you're in, he like, oh, shoot. Now he got to compose.
Imagine.
He didn't have time to get himself together to be like, oh, okay, let me get myself together. I'm about to be interviewed by Shannon Thorpe. Like, he didn't have time.
Did Sharon. Did you see Sharon's tweets? Sharon
She was
tweeting as it happened. She was like, oh, shit. I guess I have to interview someone else. Like, I love you. Oh, my God.
Like, that is so crazy. I felt like I wasn't going to judge him on that interview because it's like he really didn't have time to process the fact that he is about to be a house guest on Big Brother. That's a lot to take in when you first was told, nope, you're an alternate, now you're going to go home. And all of a sudden now you're there. So yeah, I get it. But let's talk about this moving in first because the order, I put down the order of how we got our packages. So the first package we saw was Jasmine, and then Kyle, and then Paloma, and then Monty. Now, I know you got more information on these packages because you did all that, so.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot for any of these specific people. I was going to say, I really like Jasmine a lot more than I did yesterday. Because it was literally yesterday. I thought that, you know, intro package, going into the house, everything like that, I figured I would like Jasmine a little bit more, and I do. So I'm really, really happy about that.
Yes.
I'm very upset for her ostrich feather pseudo trench coat situation.
So dirty.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
talk about it. But we found out, because we got entrepreneur as her title, whatever. But we found out that she owns her own press-on nail brand. Love
it. I mean, I know they don't want to put all the information on the street, but just to say somebody's an entrepreneur, it's like, okay, but what do they do?
Brand owner would have been better.
Right.
And more descriptive.
But yeah, I did too. Like, once we saw Jasmine's package, I was like, I like this girl a whole lot more.
And Jasmine first of these four was a really interesting choice for me, because I thought, honestly, if I saw the four, like, oh my God, I got my key, this totally isn't a scripted moment, oh my God, what? I saw all of those and I was like, oh, they're going to lead with Kyle or Monty. Because it is typically a man. It is typically a man.
I wrote Kyle first because that's the first person they showed in the package of getting their key. So I thought they're going to go in the order of who got their key, who we saw get their key first in the package. So I wrote Kyle down like first, and I was like, oh no, it's Jasmine, so I had to scratch it out. Yeah. But yeah, I did like Jasmine more. I did not like Kyle. I think I like Kyle less. In the package, which was...
Oh, really? See, after the package, I'm a huge Kyle fan. No, just kidding.
I will kick you out. I will ban you. I will ban you. I will unfollow you, and I will never speak to you again.
I was about to be like, thank you for coming.
That is a promise. That's not a threat.
We were about to be muted and dismissed. Like, oh my God.
Not even muted. We're gonna skip the mute. We're gonna go straight to the ban.
Just remove me from the stream.
100%.
Oh my God! Really?
Let's talk about Paloma. UC Berkeley. Lana, I told you. I was like, there's something about this girl. I really hope she doesn't go home this week. We'll talk about it. But I told you there was something. She talks about UC Berkeley. She's from San Diego. She has a real estate license. Hello.
I liked her more. Even though I've already liked her before, I liked her because they just said she's an interior designer, which is fine. I think that's a great job. Somebody has to do it because I can't. But hearing that she also has a real estate license and she's 22, it's like this girl is driven. She got a good head on her shoulders. She knows what she wants to do, and she's starting right now going for her dreams and her goals. And I love that. I love to see that.
And something that Katie might have pointed out, that like she knew how to use that tape measure. Like she knows what she's doing in that package.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like scripted moments where they were like, why don't you just go like do something that looks like you're doing something? Like she knew how to use that tape measure.
Yeah.
What I don't know is what is her obsession with mayo?
So in Germany, they don't use ketchup on fries. They use mayo on fries. They use mayo on like everything. So
I did know that. Well, I don't even like ketchup on my fries.
German.
I'm not a ketchup. No, she's Greek and Mexican. We
Mexican.
learned that about her too.
Yeah.
I know you were trying to make a joke. I'm not going to make you. I'm not. After that Kyle comment, I'm not making you.
Just shutting
I'm not letting you make down. Yep, shutting down everything you say. No, I'm more of a honey mustard on my fries kind of person, personally. But I love honey mustard, so that's just me. Ketchup, whatever.
I mean, I get it. I like all kind of sauces, so whatever. Mayo, I like mayo. I just think,
it's a weird thing to like constantly talk about.
People like their condiments, and she just happened to choose mayo. And somebody put a joke on Twitter that made me laugh. They were like, "Oh, you like mayo? Well, here's Kyle." Period. I was like, oh! Stop, funny.
I hope she gets to put mayo in her slop. If it comes to that, if she wants to, I hope she is able to.
I mean, it's a condiment. They said you can put any condiments in your slop. So if she just likes mayo like that, and it makes her slop taste better, then so be it.
Side note, but what condiments would y'all put in your slop?
Honey, sugar. Honey. Like, I would do, like, sweet stuff to make it. And it's not, I guess they say it's like oatmeal.
The American one is apparently better than the Canadian one, so at least that's something.
So if it's like that, I would treat it like I would treat my oatmeal, and so I would put like butter and sugar and just kind of.
Because it's just unflavored oatmeal with like unflavored protein powder.
Right?
Is like basically what it is. I would do like a sweet one sometimes, but then like I would not want to like exercise as much, knowing me in the Big Brother house. So I would also do like a spicy version, because then you have a little bit of both. But
I will stick to I will stick to drinking water and tea for most of the time.
Fair. And then we get Monty, who I liked before and I like more.
I like Monty.
I like Monty. I like any sort of like alpha male package. I'm kind of just inherently turned off to, just personally. But I did like that we got to see more of him than like just the fitness thing. It was like, oh well, during the pandemic, like I got into fitness and I found that this was like a passion. It's not the like, oh, I've always been like at the gym and like this has always been something, and so like now I'm just talking about like fitness being like my sole identity. Like he's got more layers to him, which I did enjoy about the package.
I have a degree in mechanical engineering,
which we did not know before, which I enjoyed seeing that, and I liked getting to know that fact about him, that he did have his mechanical engineering degree, because people are only going to see the blonde side of him. Like, that's all we saw in the bio. That's all we saw in his interview. It's like, but he didn't get to showcase that, no, I'm not just a muscle guy and who's, like you said, staying in the gym all the time. I'm somebody who is smart. I got my mechanical engineering thing. And so you have to be strategic even when your mind is going all the time when you're doing engineering things like that. So I think when he said he was the total package in the for this game, I was like, I can see that. I can agree with that. It wasn't something that you would, because like we like to say that stuff all the time. I'm the total package. When you don't have.
No, I'm not.
You don't have, like, I am not physically the package. Like, I will not go into the Big Brother house the total package. No, I'm going in the house as a social person. Hopefully people like me enough to keep me. Because physically, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I mean, I have a short temper and I hate cleaning. So, like, I'm not.
I hate cleaning, too. So, I'm not going to be in the kitchen all day looking like somebody's
I'll be cooking. That's my strategy. If I go in, I'm
I don't even want. I can, but I don't wanna, and I don't wanna be cleaning up behind 16 people, especially grown folks. So no, thank you.
See, I enjoy cooking, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal for me. But
cooking for 16 people is a lot. Like,
I'll help.
Nicole,
but I do around that size, like on the regular, like once a month. So like,
I would help. Like, I would be that person if you're in the kitchen, I'll be helping. Like, hey, what should we do? I'm going to cut some onions. You want me to do this? I'll be a stew chef. But then I would want to leave when it's time to clean up, and everybody be like, well, you made all this mess and you don't want to clean up mess. And I'm like, hey,
you asked me to make this mess.
Right, you asked to eat, so why don't y'all clean up? How about that?
I feel like if I am ever lucky enough to get on Big Brother, I would be more worried about what people are eating for dinner every night than the game. Like, let's be real honest here. I'd be like, so what's the menu for this evening? What are we doing? Oh, strategy. Yeah, cool. I'll vote that person out. Yeah, totally. That would be my whole thing, is like make people think that I know nothing. But in reality, hi, I'm over here, a reality TV podcaster. Like, hello. Yeah. But we do get this first group moving in, and I will say, Kyle walked in first.
Yes, he did.
Period. He's not winning. But that part.
We'll talk about that because we have things to say. But then we go to the second. Oh, wait. So they told them they had to go in and grab their ticket upon entry, and they all went and. All right. They grab their tickets. They go back to the backyard. I don't understand. The interns, either they didn't do their job or this is completely rigged. Because everybody in the first group and three sections. You have the porta potties, the merch stand, and the piercing tent. 3 sections. You need to tell me everybody in that group grabbed the porta potty ticket. Everybody. Yeah. Everybody. Mm-hmm. Nobody grabbed nothing else. I said, wait.
I'm not a mathematician, but I'm highly confident that is very statistically unlikely to actually happen.
That would literally be like a 1 in 16 times a 1 in 15 times a 1 in 14 times a 1 in 13. Whatever that math is. The math ain't mathin'.
It just seems so weird to me. Like, all of them, right, randomized. And then somebody, I think it was Kyle, after the third person picked porta potty, was like, this is rigged. I was like, you think?
No, my favorite line was Kyle saying, "Can we go for 3 for 3?" after he was the 4th person to stand in. Like, we're already at 3 for 3.
Right,
so we need to make it 4 for 4.
I'm like,
Adrian,
like, randomize my butt. This is so, like, this is the stupid. That's what made this so stupid and underwhelming.
Rebecca just really wanted to mess up Jasmine. I think that's what was really happening.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So we go to the next group, and it's Alyssa, Daniel, Taylor, and Michael.
A pretty great group overall, honestly.
Okay, yes. Now, we went through how we felt about them before and how we felt about them after this intro package. So let me start with Alyssa. I had no thoughts really about Alyssa before, and I have no thoughts about Alyssa now, because Alyssa... I felt bad for her. That's what I did. I felt bad for her because they definitely tried to make it seem like she was more than just a beauty person. They wanted to make her seem like she is more than just a swimsuit person, more than just a beauty person. And that poetry moment was the worst poetry moment I have ever heard.
They made up a hobby for her.
They really made that up. Like, it does not seem like she writes poetry.
I turned to Katie and I was like, I'm so glad she's not on my draft.
I literally was just like, the water runs The water runs through me, and I sip the water. Like, who writes poetry like that? Nobody. That was the worst poem or tidbit of a poem I'd ever heard in my entire life. Like, I felt bad for her. That's what I did. I felt bad for her.
Honestly, she might have the worst intro package ever.
That was bad.
Like, I'd have to go back and look. Like, I know some of them are, like, very bad. But, like, I feel like Alyssa's is probably one of the worst. I hate you both. Anyway.
It was just bad. It was just so bad. The poetry was just a, oh my god. Yeah.
It was a very
poetry?
It was a very bad package.
I was just like, it was a bad package. So I just
you could have had her in that swimsuit, which she looked real good. I do have to say, she looked real good.
She was fantastic.
Like, she's an attractive person, but
extend the segment about how she's a super fan. She's
Extend
one of the few.
Extend the package of how she is running a business. Like, make it about, sure, she's a swimsuit bitch, but she's running a swimsuit empire. Let her talk about that. I mean, we all know that they ain't want to do that because they did that last season with Alyssa.
Is she working for Alyssa Lopez's swimsuit company? That is what I would like to know.
I think so, but I guess she won't talk about it because then that just lets everybody know, oh, you work for, what was it, Birdie, whatever it was, I forgot what the name of it was called.
It's a cute brand.
They talked. Alyssa and Alyssa have talked. Alyssa Lopez said
they're from the same
city.
From the same
city. The same city.
Yeah, but Alyssa confirmed that they know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least in passing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it just was a bad package. They did her dirty because they could have. It felt like it was a made up passion.
What I would have loved was like to highlight the superfan. I would have loved for Alyssa Lopez to be in the package with Alyssa and like doing the key thing, like talking about like the swimsuit entrepreneur like business stuff, like talking about being a super fan, giving advice, like all of that, because they did it with Polly when Cody was there. They did it like with all the siblings that have ever played. They've always done it, and so I think that like that would have been like a really like good like point to like talk about and highlight the fact that she knows what game she's getting into, because just based off the package, just based off the poetry, I was like, she's a recruit, right? Like they there's no substance to this person. Like they found her on Instagram and was like, you're attractive, like be on the show.
Well, and going through her bios as well, when we did the cast assessment, if there had not been a line where she said, I've watched every season of Big Brother, I would have said, oh, she's absolutely a recruit.
Yeah.
It's so strange. It does not seem like they are going to be putting any effort into her. And we'll talk about it, but like, is she giving first boot energy? I'm not sure yet.
Right.
We'll see. Someone who is not going to be giving first boot energy is Daniel. Elvis, sure. We're going to be seeing Elvis all damn season. Sure. I'm surprised we didn't get any of it in this episode.
He did in his package, like he did the lake thing.
But they didn't have him like doing an Elvis impersonation. It was just the one thing. But then we find out that he's a live feeder. Like he's one of us, which I kind of figured given what we talked about in the cast assessment. But I'm liking him a lot more than I did in the cast assessment. I'm very happy I drafted him. I mean, we'll talk about it, but I'm very happy that I drafted him. And then there's Taylor, icon, beauty.
It's so crazy. Taylor is one day in the show, and well, even before one day in the show, everybody was like, Taylor's the moment, the icon, the legend. Like, she didn't do anything, but she's the icon of the moment. But
her cast photo leaked, and people were like, this is the winner. Knowing nothing about her. Literally not even knowing her last name. And everyone was like, winner! And I mean, I see it. I believe it. I co-sign with it. But like...
And her package only made her more of an icon in my eyes because I think it was more like the package or the diary room session where she got in the house that made me be like, you know what, this girl knows where she's at. She knows what she's doing. She knows the game she's playing, and she's really willing to play that game. And I feel like this is where I related to Taylor because y'all know me in most games. I'm like, oh, I'm the nice person. I'm the sweet person. You can trust me. You can rely on me. You can tell me what you want to do, and then I don't mind, if the time is right. But I've never had a chance to be the villain, and always wanted to do that. Always wanted to play a game where I'm the villain, people are like, oh, no, Molly gotta go. Not because you're too nice and you're too likable. I don't want that. I want to go, she gotta go because she's the villain. And it's like, I've never been able to do that. So I want her to be able to do that. Go into this game like she knows how to do the nice thing because she's a pageant queen. She, Miss Michigan. She knows how to do the nice pageant girl act. But I want her to be able to go in there and folks just don't even see her coming. And she is the villain, and a good villain. A villain where you know you're a villain, and you own that you're a villain. Like, I don't want those fake villains like, oh, I'm the villain. But then when you get caught like, what? I would never. No, own it. I did it. I cut you. It is what it is. Play the game.
You have that Shan humming theme song going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shan owned it, and that's why I love Shan. Like, she owned it. Like, yes, I'm a pastor, I'm nice, I'm sweet, and I will pray for you. But when I'm in this game, I'm not going to be Shan. I'm playing for me, and if I got the then it is.
See,
I really like that she in her package was like, she didn't grow up as like any sort of like pageant queen, like grow up in that. Like, she found it and she was like, oh, this is something I'm interested in, but I'm in it to win it. Like, I want to win everything that I'm in. I want to win. Like, and they, like, when somebody in their like cast interview was like, do you go with the house or do you try to flip the house? She was like, well, I'm a team player, so I'll probably go with the house. Like, I don't want that answer. I want you to play for you. Like, don't play for everybody else. And Taylor is not the type of person that's going to play for everybody else.
Well, and see, I'm getting this, like, not necessarily villain, but, like, this Shan energy actually from somebody else a little bit more than Taylor. Okay. I'll just say it, and we'll get to her in a second. But I'm getting a lot more of that from Amira.
Mm-hmm.
Than I am Taylor, which makes me, optimistic for Amira as a player. She is my winner pick. I did definitively say that yesterday. But I'm excited to see what happens with her. And then we get Michael. I thought our only gay, but turns out not the case, and I'm happy about it. We'll talk about Nicole. But he's a member of Mensa. He has the Big Brother Bible. He was watching Janelle. Yeah. My favorite moment of the evening is when he holds the door, cuts back to camera, and is like, I know I'm not walking in first. I don't know how many people are in this house. I am not walking in first.
I love that moment. I was like, Michael knows this game, and super fan all over him, and I appreciate that. And I still hold my thought. I hope he goes in this game and knows that he doesn't have to play super hard right out the gate, because a lot of super fans do that. They go in there thinking they have to do it all. But so far, so good. I am liking Michael. I liked his package, the fact that he had his spreadsheets and his BB Bible, and he was like, not like Brittany's Bible, her 3-page of notebooks. Michael had a whole folder of just stuff, and I'm like,
with a printed cover page.
Yes,
I want to compare their notes, because Brittany did say, we'll talk about Brittany, but she said she had like 30 plus pages. I didn't see how thick. She said 30. And then in her bio, she said 40. So I'm like, girl, what do I need to believe here?
Pick a number.
Pick a number, honestly. But yeah, I mean, he was also watching Janelle's iconic HOH win.
Mm-hmm.
In his intro package.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have him watching like highlights of Raven, though, because they're both members of Mensa.
I mean,
I forgot where you were going with that for a second.
I knew exactly where you were going when you said Raven. It's like, Mensa. You know, it's hard. That's an elite club to be a part of, you know.
What was your GPA in college? Dance. But I studied business, too. That is one of my favorite quotes of all time.
I promise you, if I ever got on Big Brother, those, like, quirky quotes, like, I would say stuff like, Raven is one of my favorite house guests because she was in Mensa, although she had introverted knees. You know, you just, how did she dance with those introverted knees? You just, yeah.
Oh, I thought of another deep cut because I talked about last night how I would mention Becky from BB17 because she got hit by a train. But I've come up with another deep cut. I'm gonna go as well with Kale from BB8, the woman who hated Evil Dick more than I think anybody else in the entire world. Because I want to be like her.
I mean, yeah. You have to go deep. Like, I don't want to go on the show and prove that I'm a super fan. And you know, other super fans will know you're a super fan if you can go back and say something like, I want to be, one of my favorites is like Chicken George or...
when I say my favorite winner is June Song. Like, that's...
But even just something simple like bringing it back to Michael, like holding the door and not being the first person to walk into the house. Like everybody that knows this show knows that Michael knows this game.
Unless your name is Tamar Braxton on Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah, because Tamar Braxton say I am the mold breaker. I will only walk in there first and then win the show. So I feel like people after Tamar did that, people were kind of like, maybe. I don't know. But then they have no regular Big Brother because the fans are like, it's still a curse. It's still a curse.
On civilian Big Brother in the United States of America, you don't want to walk in first.
You don't. Everybody can't be Tamar Braxton.
So the second group does their thing. We can talk about the people at the end because in this one, they weren't all in the same group, thankfully.
No, Alyssa, Daniel, and Michael all went to merch. And Taylor went to the piercing tent.
Did you see Taylor strut across the yard?
That gave me y'all. That gave me Davon walking in that HOH comp on BB22 energy, and I said it's the second. Davon walked so Taylor could run. I truly believe it. Like,
when I tell you, I was like, okay, I'm gonna say it, and I said it because you brought up Davon too. I was like, don't nobody strut and walk like a black woman when they wearing their heels and looking fabulous, and they know it. When we know we look good, baby, you can't tell us nothing, and the walk will show it. And she was just like,
I think immediately of that sphere of women. I think of Davon. I now put Taylor in there. I think of Azah. I think of Tiffany. I think of Dominique.
I'm telling y'all, this is not a thing.
Are we not going to mention Bailey, who's the other pageant?
Oh my God! Wait, Bailey.
I'm telling y'all, this is not a coincidence. This is black women all over the world. When we feeling ourselves, Beyonce made the song "Feeling Myself." I'm feeling myself, baby. That is a theme song in all our heads. Every time we put on a nice dress and our hair is tight and our makeup is flawless and we know we look good, the walk. It shows. It's just like, I will use that meme I'll use that gift for everything. I will use that gift for everything. If I'm ever feeling myself, I'm using that gift. Her. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the that.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the third group. Now we have to talk about him, along with Nicole, Joseph, who I was very excited to get to know, and Queen Brittany. My stand card is on Taylor, but if I had a second one, can I split my stand card in half?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not, but you go ahead.
there's enough stand cards here on Taylor that, you know what, I can take half of mine and I'm giving it to Brittany, and I'm going to talk about Brittany first. This woman is pure camp, and I love it. Like, she is, like, I always tend to root for the quirky woman, unless your name is Nicole Anthony. But, like, well, in 21 I did root for her a little bit. But there's something about the quirky white woman archetype that I always root for. And she is a competitive belly dancer. She has 30 or 40 plus pages of notes and scenarios that she constructed with her husband. Like, she's a hypnotherapist. Save Brittany!
I am really, really interested to see, and like, I am the kind of person that I feel like Brittany would get on my nerves very quickly. But I said the same thing about Marianne in Survivor, and I very quickly warmed up to Marianne. And so, like, I'm open to my mind being changed. But I would love to have, like, I'm just so excited for the montage of Brittany trying to, like, plant those, like, soothing, like, hypno tips on the rest of the house guests. Like, I'm so excited for it, effective or otherwise. I'm just so excited for the montage that we know that we're gonna get should she make it past week 1.
I am very see. Brittany is like Brittany from last season for me, because I was very much like, you, Brittany's going to get on my nerves. She's going to get on my nerves. I am not going to like that girl. And halfway through the season, she started warming up to me, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like Brittany. I was even sad when she went home. I was like, oh, dang, I really like Brittany. I wish this didn't need to be done, but it needed to be done. So I get it. I understood it. Like, I liked all the people in Big Brother 23, like, for real, except for Frenchie and Derek F. But when they had to go home, I was like, I hate to see Claire go. I hate to see Derek X go. I hate to see Alyssa go. But I knew it had to be done, so I had to go. They had to do it. This time, Brittany, she's the same one for me. Like, they literally planted Brittany from 23 and put her on Brittany on 24. And I feel like I'm going to end up liking this girl towards the middle. I don't know why.
To be fair, they did the same thing with Alyssa. Alyssa into Alyssa, Brittany into Brittany, just different spellings of Brittany.
Is it bad that I thought that there were 3 people with the same name as people from last season, because I thought Travis's name was Kyle? I forgot that his name was Travis. I was just like, there's been 3 Kyles on Big Brother. I was getting him confused with the last 2 Kyles that have been on BB Can.
Yeah. I need a second chance show, and I need Travis to be on it. I really feel like he did not get a fair shot. I was rooting for him.
Remember when we almost lost Alyssa week 1 last season?
What if we would have?
And then maybe we get Travis on the challenge USA. Who knows? Alternate timelines.
You know, who knows? We wouldn't have suffered through that Christian Alyssa show. Man, that was fake from the beginning. Okay, but anyway, let's move on.
I was gonna say, speaking of changing circumstances, Turner. Now, okay, so
why is his name Turner now? But in, like, all the packet, like, it
was Matt Turner.
It's Matt Turner.
Okay, well, okay, I missed that.
The bios that we had from Mike Bloom and Sharon Thorpe. I don't remember her. I'm so sorry, girl. His name is literally listed as Matt Turner. Now I would go to cross-check that on the CBS website, but the CBS website has not updated the cast page for BB24.
The Big Brother wiki has him listed as Turner.
Turner is Turner, and I believe Pooch is Pooch. We'll talk about Pooch.
They want to go by. I think they're just going by the names that they prefer to be called, and so Turner would prefer to be called Turner, even though his name is Matt Turner. He prefers to be called by his last name, and Pooch would prefer to be called by Pooch because his last name is Pucciarelli. So,
well, and now we have a Joe and a Joseph, so now it's definitely Pooch. But I want to talk about Turner for a hot second because I know we talked about him in the cast assessment yesterday about all of the allegations made by his sister then getting canceled. Did y'all see the other thing? The friend. Who to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, I didn't really double check it because it's been a busy day for me. But to my knowledge, the friend was confirmed to actually be a friend of his, who then counteracted everything the sister said.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
So it's left me in this weird in-between where I'm like... Because
what's my opinion?
Exactly. Because based solely on his intro package, I don't dislike him. I think it's really cool that he makes rugs. Like, that's like a cool and different thing. But I'm left in this very ambivalent space where I'm like, do I want... Like, he's not gonna be high on my list of people to root for. But am I putting him in the same category as Kyle? I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, this is my take on that, because yes, I saw the friend who put out the thing, and could be confirmed that they are truly friends. But even Jeffrey Dahmer had friends. Even people who are horrible people. The Duke of the Klansmen has friends, and his friends are going to defend him because they're his friends. And his sister, who might have some issues with him, she could be lying. She could be telling the truth. I don't know. But just because his friend, who is somebody who didn't like him, and because now he's on the show, and they're going to can get the residuals of being his friend, is going to come out and defend him for being his friend. Now, everything his sister could be saying is very much could be true. He could be manipulative. He could be a racist. He could be a horrible person. And his friend can definitely come out and say, no, none of this is true. He's very much a great person. He's very much loved. We love him around here. Yes, in your circle, you love him. Outside of your circle, what is he like? That's the thing. So it's really up to how you feel in the moment. His package was nice. He looks like a to do down to earth kind of. He makes rugs. He's the owner of a thrift shop. You're not gonna see no highfalutin bougie person running a thrift shop and making rugs. He lived on the road, the van for 2 years. That's great.
Yeah.
He still looks like I still don't get the vibe that I wanted to get from him. Like the vibe that I wanted to get, like to make me change my mind. I haven't gotten it yet. So he's going to be that person who I have to watch the live feeds. I have to see how he is and how he interacts with the rest of the house guests. Because even in the quick, the moments that they spent today talking or whatever, anybody can act. Anybody can be like, oh yeah, we're all great. But it's how you talk to people. He's gonna give himself away. Whichever side he's on, whichever side of the coin he falls on, because he's gonna have to interact with these people. And how he talks to people, like we saw how, like when Jackson and how they talk to Kimmy.
Jack specifically, everybody was like very on board with Jack this season. And Turner could be the complete opposite of that. Of like he gets like trashed on the first 24 hours. Like I'm very much having my opinion open about it. Like I didn't see the best friend thing. I saw the sister thing. But right now I can't see anything more than like McCranda's child. So like that's very much where I'm sitting, and it was like I'm.
It doesn't help that McCrae co-signed him either. So
did he? Oh, yeah. I didn't see that either.
And it doesn't help that he said David Alexander is an icon. That just
he's definitely 15th out of 16 in my popularity rankings. Let me make that very clear.
Yeah.
But
I just need to see how he talks.
I need to see the live feeds. Yeah.
I need to see the live feeds. I need to see how he interacts with people, because like if he talks to the women of the house with like most of the guys do sometimes, and they don't listen and da-da-da, then, or if he talks to the people of color a certain way, and then because you can see this, we can see this, everybody keep your eyes open, you can see it. Don't act like you don't see when people are talking to somebody passive-aggressively or giving them microaggressions, or don't act like we don't see it when we see them talking like, or trying to make them feel like look stupid, like, oh yeah, no, you're great, like, come on. So just watch and make your own opinions. Let's leave the family and the friends opinions out of it. Watch the live feeds and come up with your own opinion of how you feel about this man. As of right now, he's just there for me. I'll watch, and then if he comes and do the same stuff that one of the other two sides have claimed, then there's the answer.
Yep. Also, in this intro package, we get Nicole, the cop turned gay private chef. I kind of figured, I didn't want to say anything, but I kind of figured. Very happy to see more than one queer person on this season.
I love the way that just in your articulation, she was a straight cop turned into a lesbian.
I don't know.
I mean, not a straight cop turned into a gay.
I didn't say straight cop. I said former cop turned into gay private chef.
I was about to say a straight cop turned it. He was already gay.
So with Nicole and Taylor as well, I've now started the BB24 The Cup drinking game. There will be a graphic coming when I decide to make it. But the first two things I've personally added, and feel free to add more. Drink every time Taylor does something iconic, and drink every time Nicole says she was a cop.
Yeah. For someone who doesn't want to mention to the house guests that they're a cop, she surely talks about it to us in the dining rooms and in her package how much she was a cop.
She's going to mention to the house guests at some point that she's a cop.
I think so.
I'm going to guarantee that.
I think something like that is like, not proudly as somebody who is the child of somebody who was a cop. Like, it is a key part of like your identity. It is a lot of like the development that, like, as an adult, like the skills that you develop, and whether you use those for like good or bad things, like, and I can fully like co-sign that like being a cop like gives like positive attributes of like discipline, like attention to detail, but also like you could very easily be a very awful person, right? Like, so I am going in with the mindset that I like very much like Nicole. Just off of like her cast photo, I was like, this is the type of person that I would naturally gravitate towards. And like, as soon as the cast released, Katie was like, Nicole is my first draft pick, and I was like, yep, that is an accurate statement.
Quite literally Casey, but older.
Yeah, I feel like she's a Casey, like Tiffany kind of blend, I think, because like Tiffany was like the mom of the house last season, so I think that she will go in, and I do think that she will be able to kind of utilize the skills that she had as a cop. Like, if you think about like the Tony, the Sarah, the Derek's of like the attention to detail and like the focus and like being able to kind of like hone in on those things, but also using the personal chef to like bond with people through food, but like cater to people and their needs. Like, I think that overall she's a very well-rounded player, and her life experiences helping her in this game. It's just a matter of like, I don't think that she's going to not be able to talk about the fact that she was a cop.
No, she's definitely going to tell somebody. I think she wanted to, like, she mentioned Derek as one of her favorite players, and I think she wanted to play this game like a Derek and not tell anybody that she was a cop. And the fact that she can honestly be like, I'm a private chef, because that is what she's doing right now. So none of it will be a lie. She won't be lying to the house guests. She just will not say what she used to do. And so I think she wanted to play this game like Derek and be the, undercover mastermind, and like you said, put all the skills that she learned when she was a cop, the attention to detail, the discipline, and all of that stuff, she can use that for her advantage. But I just think she is such a talker She's just a talker. And when you're a talker and you don't have anything else to do in that house, after a while, you can't help but let information out about your life, because she's going to start telling stories, and you can't go back and start telling stories without revealing stuff about you. So I don't think it's
10 years of her life. She
10 years, exactly. That's a big chunk of your life to not talk about. And so I think at some point it's going to come out that she was a cop. And I hope I hope for her, because I really want to like her. I really, really want to like her. And I do like her. That's the thing. I like her. I just hope that when she decides to tell people she's a cop, it's after she gets to know everybody for a while. They get to know her. They like her. And then she'll be able to bring that out, that part of her life out. And because with the way the world sees cops right now in America, it's a very touchy subject. It's so you don't know what bad people are coming from. Like, who do I tell who I know is going to be like, I trust the cops, I'm a fan of cops? Or if you tell the wrong person who just had very bad experiences with cops, it could, so I want her to wait. If she's not going to tell them off the top, like, right away, then wait until you know the house guests, the lay of the land, how they feel about you, so you can be like, okay, yep, now.
And also looking at the intersectionality of her being a queer woman of color, and also coming from that background, I'm very interested to see that intersectionality play out, whether she ends up telling anybody or not is one thing, but I'm interested to see
what made her
right.
I would love to know that answer.
I think we'll get it. I think if we see her for a couple weeks, which I'm really hoping at the very least we see her for a couple weeks, I think we'll get that. But yeah. Let's quickly run through our last 5 people, because live feeds start in 11 minutes. Joseph. We learned things about Joseph. He is a lawyer. He is a personal trainer. He is Syrian and Palestinian. He does humanitarian work in South America. I really like him.
I do too, and I think that, I think Joseph for me is the opposite of what Monty is. Like, Monty, I expected to be just this kind of very physical dominating individual who that was his identity. And then we get Joseph, who is a lawyer, very I'm going to assume very intelligent, right? And then he also says that he seems like a very kind of physical fitness individual as well. So I think both of those individuals are very well balanced, and they kind of did the opposite. Monty highlighted that he's not just Jim, and Joseph highlighted that he's not just books.
And I think as well, the sheer fact of being a 24-year-old who has graduated from law school, regardless of, because I saw people online talking about the logistics of whatever. The fact that he has presumably graduated from law school at the age of 24, that's impressive. I'm looking after him. Lana, I'm very jealous that you have him on your draft, because I think he is absolutely someone to look for.
I'm very excited that I have him for my draft as well, but I am also nervous. I'm nervous about him because he seems too good to be true, if that makes sense. He seems too perfect. He's 24, he's a lawyer, he's fit, he's good looking, he does humanitarian work in South America. He just seems too perfect. And it's I don't know if that's just who he is, or if that's some of this is to play up who he is, if that makes sense. And I don't know if people are going to, it's because he seems so smart. He seems so smart, and I just feel like he might fall into that showman's trap that seems to happen. I think he will fall into because if you get this showman's, if you watch Big Brother, if you do a showman's, the band is going home first. Period. Bottom line, it doesn't
unless it's Big Brother Canada.
Right. And then
quite literally it's the opposite.
which is very shocking to me. But women seem to be very much intimidated by other women in Big Brother Canada, which happens to be the case in Big Brother US. But they just they know to get rid of the strength first, and you can take care of the chick later. But
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Joseph and Paloma. Calling it.
Okay.
And I think that'd be great.
But yeah, I do agree with you. I think Adrian. I think he is definitely like a softer version. I don't know what I wouldn't say more endearing, but I would say definitely a softer version of Xavier, because Xavier.
I would almost say a little bit more personable. Not that Xavier wasn't personable.
Xavier was very guarded, and he had a reason to be guarded. Look, y'all, let's be honest. Black folks got to be guarded on all these shows we go on. So he and I feel like Joseph has a little bit of leeway, to be a little less guarded.
I think the thing that will be Joseph's undoing will potentially be his age. I think potentially his maturity level, if he is like kind of straight out, and obviously like being a lawyer at 24, like he had to double down and hit the book. So like I don't think that he's necessarily like a party individual, but I think that his age may be the thing, and potentially like the showman's like attraction would be the only things that I think would be kind of downfall.
Yeah. Let's quickly run through the last four and then the comps.
Right, it was Terrence, Indy, Joe, and Amira.
Yeah.
Terrence, we saw Terrence. I like Terrence from the get-go. And I love Terrence now, after seeing his package. Number one, he probably drives the bus that I've rode on before. Because
CTA, you said. CTA.
CTA on the place, and he was the CTA bus driver. And like I've rolled those buses so much, and you do get attached to your bus driver, especially when you take the same route every day, and it's the same bus driver every day, and you see him and you talk to him like, hey Joe, hey Terrence, hey how you doing, blah blah blah, and you talk to your bus drivers the whole trip, and I feel like like I said, he just seems like somebody's favorite uncle, somebody's favorite, he's cool, like he might be what they consider dad of the house, but he just seems like a cool dad. His hat game is on point. Terrence is I think I just really liked him. His package just made me like him even more. I was rooting for him before because he was Chicago, and I'm Chicago. But now, seeing him with his family, and he's a karaoke DJ, which we didn't know. I was like, hey, not a karaoke DJ.
I found that out last night after we went off live, because I watched Nerdtainment with Jessica Milagros, and she's from Chicago. She was talking about how she knows people who know Terrence.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So that's apparently there's a lot of deeper connections with like former BB players. Taylor knows like 4 or 5 people. I don't know who, but like there's some deeper
Parker and Danielle. Apparently she had a conversation and talked to Parker and Danielle, and both of them gave her some advice before she got in the house, and so she knew them, and like the Alyssa, and I agree. I think him being a DJ is going to make him very cool. He can identify with probably some of the young people for being a DJ, and they taste the music. I think it's a good advantage for him. I liked him.
Yes, I believe so. They're both
24.
Yes. Indy, corporate flight attendant, grew up in Brazil in a poor community, and we called it, she's a Big Brother Brazil fan. And I said yes, because Big Brother Brazil is very different. Big Brother Brazil operates on what was originally BBUK format. It's a public voting system. She's going to not only know how to play it up for cameras because she's a fan of Big Brother Brazil, but she's going to know how to work the social game. I'm also very happy I drafted her because I think we're going to see a lot out of her this season. I'm very excited. Pooch is Pooch.
Wait, going back to Indy, I think Indy is going to be great. What I fear for Indy is because she watches Big Brother Brazil and she knows how to play it up for the cameras and things for Brazil. I think Big Brother US is different. We don't we don't work that way. And so I think her playing it up could be something that could be her downfall, that people get on people's nerves, because that's not how we operate in Big Brother US. They don't do that because it's not a public vote. The public don't really usually have anything to do with it except like care packages and little stupid votes here and there. But in Brazil, that's the whole game. You gotta get the people to like you. And if she plays it like Brazil, I think that can be a downfall for her here in the US, because the house guests that's gonna get on the house guests' nerves, I think.
I think people could see it as like being inauthentic and being very performative, and whether it is just in like a heightened like version of herself. I think that I do agree that I think that might be a downfall.
But I'm here for all her mess. I want to see it. I love it. Yeah. Pooch.
Are we gonna see like a Big Brother Abby? I
think so. Social.
I completely lied to you all. It looks like it's a hybrid of UK and US, because there is what they call the power of immunity.
Oh, okay.
So I think I just lied directly to both of you and the audience. Okay. It looks like, just from, I haven't watched Brazil. I've been meaning to. There's just a lot of reality TV happening. But from the very vague Google search that I just did, it seems like it's a hybrid of US and UK. So, with that said,
still same thing. Same thing.
Absolutely.
I still think if she plays it up for, like she would play for Brazil's Big Brother, it could rub the house guests the wrong way, and so she would have to learn how to balance house guests, how to deal with the house guests, and then plan whatever she does. But Joe Pooch, does he live with his mom? I think it looked like he lived with his mom.
I was like, but he lives in Florida. I also said, how the hell is this man from Staten Island and his mom does not have an accent at all? I said, I'm sorry.
Maybe she's not from.
Maybe she's not from Staten Island. Maybe she just happens to.
Maybe she married a Staten Island man.
Staten Islander, and they lived there for a while, and now she's in Boca Raton. I don't know. I didn't get much from his package. I didn't get much from him, and so I was just like,
"Good for you for being."
Sorry, go ahead. No.
Oh, I was going to say, good for you for being an assistant football coach at Florida State. Like, that's, regardless of him as a person, like, that's one of the best football teams in the country. Like, from a football perspective, good for him on that.
That's something that I definitely knew. Yes. I can't hear him talk and not hear Gina Marie, and it's just.
I feel like that's a perfect segue to talk about Amira. Remember how we were all very confused about what Amira did? Turns out she works for Google.
Which they just said content designer. I'm like,
for Google.
Designer. She works for freaking Google. Like,
at home.
At home.
Or around the world. I did enjoy.
Your laptop, you could work.
Yeah, I did. I was very kind of indifferent on her, like, before I saw the package, and like being able to see like she's very well traveled, like she's working at Google, like being able to get like that inside information about her life, like really kind of made her more identifiable as like a person and not just like a still photo. So I'm actually like on board with Amira, whereas like before I was just kind of like, meh.
I defend my winner pick. I'm happy about it. I'm here for it. Okay. 3 competitions. Boom, boom, boom. They were all stupid. One was so there was potty talk, where you have to identify whether the number 1, 2, or 3 was said the most. This is my kind of comp. I got all of them right.
This is my kind of comp. I got them all right. I was like, I know this.
Oh, the kind of comp that you would be good at saying.
100%. This is the comp I want to see.
I just thought it was kind of a shitty comp.
Yeah, I didn't like the comp. I thought it was.
But I did not like the fact that you would make this kind of comp on day 1, where these people have come dressed in their best because they want to be on TV, and then you throw blue goop FM.
You made Jasmine wear that pink trench coat dress situation with the ostrich feathers at the bottom, threw her promo into the house, and then it became Barney purple. That's offensive.
I don't have a problem with the competition. I like the style of competition. I didn't really like the porter potty theme of it. I thought that was like just kind of unnecessary. Like you literally could have made it like it literally could have been a food stand where people are talking about like the number of orders or whatever. Like that would have like been that. But anyway, I also don't see the point of like sliming them day one. Like it was one of three that was the only one that had any sort of like effect on their attire, and it was just all very, very unnecessary. Like you move in day one, hour one, and you immediately need a shower. Like
it's kind of,
and they probably didn't get a shower for at least like 2 or 3 hours, and that's offensive.
Right.
But,
and when they do go shower, they lose that social time.
Right, because now they have to go get dressed and all that stuff. It just was not. I think night one is not the night to slime them up and get them all gross. And so,
or do something like that for all 3 comps. Don't just make it one.
Everybody's gonna have to get nasty there. It's like make sure everybody gets slimed or grossed out, because, like you say, now people are losing valuable social time because they now have to go shower and get cleaned up and wash their hair, because now they got goop all in the. And I don't know about y'all, but Jasmine is a woman of color.
I felt so bad for Jasmine.
You know how long it takes some moments. It takes some time. But, okay.
Anyway, Monty wins.
Monty wins. Good for him.
Thankfully, not Kyle. I was very happy.
I was happy to see Kyle get slime. That was kind of interesting. Moving next to Piercing Panic, where they had to put all these 10 piercings all over their body. It was so stupid.
This was stupid.
It was stupid.
It was quick. It was like in and out. Like,
yeah, I get it. You need to make quick comps if you're going to do 3 comps or 4 comps in one night. Get it.
It was so stupid.
It was so stupid. But
Turner wins despite losing one of his eyebrow piercings multiple times.
I was like, okay.
No one was even close.
I don't think anybody was really trying.
No,
honestly,
not in this one. I think in the first one, Kyle obviously was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Turner wins the second comp. We go to the third comp,
which was hanging tough. Yeah.
They put an endurance comp in this 90-minute premiere episode, and I said, "I'm sorry, what?" But it's literally just pure upper body strength.
Yeah, you just had grip. You just had to hang.
Yeah.
And when I saw that it was just holding on, I was like, "This isn't gonna last long."
I thought Alyssa had this in the bag.
I did too. I was surprised, and then when it was just the last 2 of Michael and Daniel, I was like, "Oh, Michael's got this," because Daniel looked like he was struggling for the last 15
and then
seconds.
Michael landed on his knees, and I went.
I just felt like Michael was going to do. Because this the same reason I thought Liz was gonna do it. Just hanging up, she has less body weight to bring her down, so I'm thinking she's gonna last for a long time. And Michael's the same way. Like, he's not as big as Daniel. Not that Daniel is a big guy, but he was definitely smaller. But Daniel ended up winning. Oh, and we forgot to mention Pooch got the Backstage Boss pass.
I was going to bring that up when the whole thing happens, but yes, he does.
Everybody else got porta potties and merch stands and piercing. He got the Backstage Boss. We'll talk about what he got.
He couldn't find the big golden chair on the balcony.
He looked like a child in his too tight chinos, sitting in this golden throne. The memes on Twitter have been...
After he found it, the man literally walked up the stairs and walked towards the back. I'm like, you did not see that golden chair?
Walked past it and then tried to walk around the back of it.
I was like, are you kidding me? I am not my vision is not the best, but I know I wouldn't have missed that big old golden chair.
Mm-hmm.
Whatevs. So after they finish, Daniel is hanging tough.
Yeah.
Great for him. So then they go to the main stage where they're going to have the last competition, which is called Drum Set Solo. They had to put a drum set together. Is that what it was called? Drum Set Solo?
Drumming for power.
Drumming for power. Oh, okay, because I blanked out when they said it.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah, it was a puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
I had to put together a drum set puzzle.
This was a new and different puzzle because at least there were like 3-dimensional objects.
It
wasn't just like
multiple components.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, this
components.
is a little different. I like to see it.
I'm gonna let this. If y'all could, I could tell from watching that, the only people who were going for that really was Daniel and Matt. And Turner. Monty was not trying to win that one. And it was obvious that he was definitely not trying to win that. He sat there and he pulled out a piece, was like,
Thank you so much for preventing a Kyle win, though, Monty. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
If it had been 3 white men going for HOH, I would have screamed. I would have truly screamed. But I thought it was so smart too. I can tell Daniel is a true fan because, and I would bet good money he's also a Survivor fan because his strategy was something that I've actually seen more on Survivor, where Turner and Monty were building the like sides and then building the drum itself. He built the drum itself, and then when it came to the other parts, he literally just looked over to the other people and said, "Oh, that's where that goes. Cool." Instead of having to like move around the different like poles and try to get it. So I again watch out. Daniel is someone I'm watching because
I also appreciate the fact that the Elvis impersonator won the challenge that involved a musical instrument. Like I do appreciate that.
So Daniel is the first HOH of the season. Mm-hmm. There are worse outcomes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
There are worse outcomes. I think given what we know about his bio, I'm hoping things happen. Also, thank you, Adrian, for the update. Michael, Kyle, Monty, and Joseph are the first 4 have-nots of the season. Feeds just popped on, and there was an announcement from Big Brother. The announcement was have-nots. So have-nots have been claimed. Thank you, Adrian, for the update. Let's dive into this backstage pass bullshit, and then we can wrap up, because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. So because Pooch is the backstage boss, he will not compete in any comps this week. He does not have a vote, but he is safe, and he can compete in next week's HOH competition. He then has to pick 3 house guests to send backstage. They will not be able to be nominated. They will not compete in comps. They do not have a vote, but they are not safe, and they could be evicted come eviction night. And so he chooses Paloma, Brittany, and Alyssa. And his reasoning being, I'm going to pick the person that was the worst in each challenge. So Paloma, and then Alyssa. And then when it comes to the second competition, remember, there was no last place. Mm-hmm. And so he picks Brittany. And we talked about it before we went on air. And we all agreed that as much as we love her, we are in consensus that we think the worst person in that challenge technically was Taylor. But we know he's not going to put up Taylor.
See, and this might be a hot take. This might give me hate on this call. I would have found that as a perfect opportunity to pick Taylor, because just based on her package, she said, like, she told the whole house that she did pageants, and sure. I think that, like, overall, I would see Taylor as a big social threat, a physical threat, a competitiveness threat. She has, like, every single, like, she is the whole package. Like, she is a very well-rounded player just from being involved in pageants. And being able to say, like, okay, yes, it makes sense to pick the like person who does the worst. And like Alyssa, he could see. Paloma, he could not see that she was like the first out. Well, I guess he knew because Julie said it. Julie
Julie
said
said
so. He
Paloma,
did.
you've
So
been
he did know who
eliminated.
the first person out was. But picking Taylor, like, was like served up to him on a silver platter. But I do understand like probably in his mind he's like gaining favor. Like there's the showman's possibility that he was probably going to try and capitalize on. But like I'm not a fan of. I've already said my opinion on Brittany. I'm open to warming up. I'm more upset about Paloma and Alyssa than I am Brittany, but I do think Taylor should have been a good.
As a fan, I would have hated to see Taylor up there. I would have been already voting for Taylor.
Yeah.
If I was in Pooch's position, that makes logical sense. Yeah. I don't dislike your reasoning. But yes, so Paloma, Brittany, and Alyssa are backstage. They will not be competing in comps. But we have an America's vote where one of them will be saved come eviction night. It's not happening until eviction night. So one of them will be pulled down. Julie said there will still be a vote with nominees that are put up by the HOH. My thought process is I think someone is going to get voted out. One of these three ladies is going to get saved by America, and then the two ladies remaining and whoever is voted out will compete in a competition, and the loser of that competition will be evicted. That's my theory.
I kind of think I agree that is likely what's going to happen. What I would like to see more I would like to see it go get it down to two. The House votes somebody out. The House votes to save one of the three that is not America's vote saved.
Sure.
And then it's just one that's competing against whoever. And if this is how it plays out and it is a physical competition, I will scream. I will be so angry because I do hope that Daniel like takes the advantage of like being the first HOH. I do hope that he like tries to make like a big move, like he is kind of saying that he might plan to do or he intended to do going into the house. But if it's a physical competition and it's somebody like Kyle versus Paloma, I will lose my mind.
Yeah. I'm interested in what's going to happen. I just turned on the feeds, of course, to see what's happening. They're already giving me some camp comeback vibes right now, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Oh.
Because right now, Pooch is wearing a Backstage Boss shirt, and everybody who put Backstage is now wearing Backstage Pass shirts. And I'm like,
I don't like that.
No.
I mean, I get it that they're backstage, you know, that's your twist.
Everybody is aware of the fact that they are backstage.
Yeah. But now you have to walk around and wear these shirts to say that they're backstage. It's just in the have-not room right now, and they're all looking at the have-not room. Everyone is all, you know, checking it out. And that's the first thing you see is Pooch in his Backstage Boss shirt, and then the girls all in the backstage shirts.
I swear to God, if Pooch becomes another Jackson Mickey, I'm going to scream, cry, throw up, and scream again in that order.
Also, what I don't like right now, I see that, you know, the guys, Michael, Kyle, Monty, and Joseph all volunteered to be have-nots. But this is also showing me that maybe, I mean, it was probably nice that they didn't want the girls to be have-nots. Great. But it's very much a potential of a boys' alliance starting to form.
I think Michael putting himself in there is a great opportunity because I think that's going to block anything, or he will be included.
I'd say he might be included and might want, because look, this gay men on this show have given me two ways. You either get the gay man who's like, I'm not going to go with this boys' alliance. I don't know why they thought that I would be the one that they go to. Or they go the route where they always wanted to be included in the boys, with the boys all their life, and they wanted to be part of the boys club. And so they make it their mission to be entrenched in the boys club. So I don't know where Michael going to fall.
You either get Kevin from BB11 or you get Bucky, and there's no in between. I hope, I pray, his favorites are literally Janelle and strong women. I'm praying to God.
I hope.
Yeah.
But with that, that was episode 1. We went longer than all 3 of us anticipated. Before we leave, Stark, give us your winner pick. One person.
Oh gosh. I said that she was my first draft pick. She was the person that I gravitated towards immediately just looking at the cast photo, finding out about her background. I do think that she is very well rounded. I think that it will put a target on her back, or she could potentially go far. I am going to go with Nicole.
Okay. A different pick.
Yeah, for everybody.
Because you had Taylor, Lana. Mm-hmm. I have Amira. Oh God, I forget whoever else picked. It's in the video. Go watch it. But with that, thank you for joining us for this premiere chat. We will be back with an uploaded video on the channel Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, talking about the Sunday episode and all of the live feed updates from then until Monday evening. And then join us again on Thursday, live at 11 p.m. EST, to see the first live eviction of the season. All of that. Do the America's voting for whoever your heart desires. I've already voted, and I will be voting every single day for multiple people. I am not just voting for Brittany. Thank you very much.
I cannot vote in Germany, apparently, and it is devastating.
Oh. Yes, and the pantry is different. I just saw that the pantry is very different. They have an island in the pantry.
There's an island in the pantry.
There's an island in the pantry.
I gotta go get on feeds then.
It is. It's two shelves like we usually get, and it's an island in the middle, and it's the same color palette, like the greenish seafoam green. So it's a nice looking pantry.
And before we head out, I would be remiss to mention I just set up our TikTok. We will be doing, hopefully daily, TikTok updates. On live feed things, specifically the big moments, nominations, all of that kind of stuff. So go follow us at The Cup of Reality on TikTok. We will be doing that.
If you want spoilers, you follow us on TikTok, on our TikTok. We'll be giving out spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, keep scrolling. But
follow and then just don't go on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, follow.
Follow us anyway, but just don't watch.
I would not be offended if you followed and then muted us. I would not be offended. That's still a follow, and I appreciate it. So, with that, thank you so much for joining us. And in the wise words of Julie Chen Moonves, love one another.
Yeah.
Cheers. Whoa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So long, farewell.